What's good, y'all? This is the kid, DC Wrestling, back once again. So tonight was AEW Dynamite, a very special edition of AEW Dynamite. This was AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. This was their typical, Arthur Ashe, New York, typical, where they come together every single year. I want to say this is the fourth year they've done it. I want to say, I may be wrong, but overall, this was a really, really good show, regardless of where you were at. Jon Moxley is the new number one contender. Darby, he put his world title shot on the line, and Jon Moxley defeated him in what was a really good match. So Jon Moxley, and as we saw, Bryan Danielson attacked him afterwards. But we're gonna get Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson one-on-one for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Dream, which is literally the weekend after Bad Blood, which is insane. But nevertheless, they've had a good match before. They should have a good match at Wrestle Dream, and then Darby and Jon had a really good match tonight. I want to say this is their third match they've had together in the past 5 years. AEW's been doing this, so and all their matches have been really good. So now on the show you had outside Mariah May's title defense, you had, some may say it was probably one of the best tag team matches of the year in AEW. You had the Young Bucks defend their titles against the members of the Don Callis family, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. And, it was a pretty crazy tag team match. They really went all over the place. Like, they were here, they were there, like, they were everywhere, man. And just another display of tag team wrestling in AEW. So, Kyle Fletcher, I think, was really the unsung hero of the match. Just continuing to show that despite losing, like, that's the only thing with Kyle Fletcher. Like, he be doing all these impressive moves, he be putting on these amazing matches, but he just loses. Like, he loses. He's like that one dude in a game where he'll drop like 20, 25 points, 30 points a game, but can never get his team to win. But he tried to get his team to win tonight, but Ospreay was like, "You're not using that screwdriver that Don Callis gave you," and that cost him the match. Now, MVP made his debut tonight. That was definitely cool to see. I mean, Prince Nana was trying to give a medical update on Swerve, and MVP was like, "Look, bro, like, the only reason why your homeboy's in the position that he's in today is because of you. So here's my card. Let Swerve know I'm mentioning him so that we can talk business, keyword business." But it's cool seeing MVP in AEW, so I don't know if this means they're going to officially form the Hurt Business in AEW. You still got Lashley as a free agent. Shelton Benjamin's still a free agent. What I originally thought, they were just going to do an indie run where the three of them were going to get back together and just terrorize the indie scene, But if they go to AEW, like, all three of them, like, they gotta tear apart AEW. Like, you can't book them in some just typical 6-man rampage action. Like, and if you do, you just need to have them tear apart the whole show. Do what they did back in the pandemic. If you guys remember what they did back in the pandemic when Raw went underground. But Nigel McGuinness took on Bryan Danielson, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I get this match was a rivalry renewed. This is the first time they fought since like December of 2011, and it was a big deal. If you're a hardcore fan, me personally, I thought the match was mid, and I know that's kind of saying a lot because it's Bryan Danielson, but it just, first off, the match didn't have a lot of build. As a matter of fact, little to no build. Like, Danielson was still selling the injuries of what happened back at, the show. So he never confronted Nigel. Nigel's just been calling him out week after week. And Danielson finally accepted it. So we didn't even get a face-off between the two. But, this was, again, really a match for the hardcore fans who grew up watching Ring of Honor, who grew up, watching the history or the rivalry between Danielson and Nigel McGuinness. So, it's probably understandable. So, if you were a fan of this match, me personally, not saying it was bad, I just thought it was mid at best. Now, Jack Perry, and this is gonna be the last thing I say before I wrap things up. He actually retired after he retired the the FTW World Championship after his match with Roderick Strong. That was a really good decision. That FTW title really didn't mean jack crap anyways. I mean, dude, it wasn't even an official championship in AEW, so even if you would have won it, it really didn't mean anything. But overall, that was Dynamite Grand Slam, and overall, that was a pretty good event.